So, what's next?
So next we have Tomioka Dance Club. So this is one of the real highlights, one of the things we're most excited about seeing. So we mentioned before, but you may not have seen, they were actually due to come to Trafalgar Square to perform for us, but obviously that became a little bit difficult given the current situation. So instead, they filmed for us two new dances, brand new dances, and we're going to have the online premiere of both of those coming up shortly. But just to give you a bit of an idea.
Who are they?
Exactly, who are they? Exactly.
I didn't know before.
Exactly. So you may have, if you've seen any of their videos, it will be this one that we're about to show. It was a sort of tribute to 80s bubble economy in Japan. So we'll start there and then we'll go into a bit more detail. So let's take a look.
Okay. Amazing. That's great.
It does. And I mean, it's so kitsch. It's like over the top.
Yes.
But this is kind of their thing. They have these, you know, very themed dances. So one thing you might not have noticed watching that is actually they're not professional dancers.
They're high school
students. They're high school students.
So, yeah, 高校生 from the age of 16, 17, 18.
Isn't it? Yeah, because high school in Japan is 3 years long.
That's right, yeah.
So, yeah, and they're practicing as part of their school club activities. So, you know, this might be completely alien to people at home, but, you know...
Bukatsu.
Bukatsu, exactly.
Bukatsu, yeah.
So, were you in a bukatsu when you were at school?
Yes, so in junior high school, I was in volleyball club, bukatsu. It's where, I think in a Japanese school society, we learn how to respect each other. You know, I can just imagine how hard they train. I mean, you can tell from the quality that they're you know, producing. But yeah, so it's a hierarchy they will learn. So, you know, the first year have to always say, you know, hello and goodbye and bow to the third year students and all that kind of thing. So it could get quite strict in terms of within that little club. But, you know, the result is just there, isn't it? So.
Yes, it's absolutely amazing. So, you know, it's just phenomenal to me, as you know, going through the British schooling system, to imagine that a school club could end up achieving quality like this. It's fantastic.
And they're like going out to the world now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that had 92 million views on YouTube. It went viral all over the place. But of course, the students who danced that dance have now graduated.
Right.
So the group that we're going to see is, you know, is the current cohort who are always trying their hardest to, you know, to one-up the previous, you know, students in that kind of slightly internally competitive way. So right now we're going to turn and have a look at them literally just walking on their way to school. It was shortly after they found out that they weren't going to be coming. So
the 83 of them.
All 83 of them. You know, so basically one whole plane's worth. But yeah, so you know, so it's quite sad to watch. But at the same time, it gives you an idea that these really are just normal high school students. So let's take a quick look.
おはようございます。おはようございます。じゃあ撮影でございます。お願いします。やばい、まさかの人。人の多さ。こんなんマジでいいワンタイム映ってないで。こうやってさ、もうみんなもう映ってる映ってる。エピはグレーやから。エピまさかのグレー入ってきたから。なんで予見だよ。
全然やで。今日まで、そう今日までに、学校です。そう、今日までにみんなが各自でちょっと覚えてきて、今日動画撮るみたいな。やってみんな学校でやんねんって。何が？学校ですね。でもさ、そんなすぐは帰らんよ、イギリスって。4日はおるよ。
それで
もう
だからそのあっちの人の案内で観光とかもできるはずやったんやのに。
マジかまだ行けるとかない？
もうないもう無理や。その代わり
とかほんまに無理やで。
その代わりに映像作品をあげる。多分そうなるね。
ついてないな。イギリスはやばいな。衝撃や。イギリスなんて人生で何回行くの？イギリスって。暑いな。プリン今日も暑いで。37って言ってたけど。暑い。その中体育館で体育やで。
The land of English, I love that.
Yeah, I know, right? When they realise that the same kanji is used for English class and the UK, and just like
and
a penny dropped.
An Osaka accent, right?
Oh god, yeah, it's very thick. I mean, if you were watching at home and you're Japanese, you must have been able to hear speaking a very thick Osaka accent because the high school is in Osaka.
It breaks my heart how disappointed they were that they weren't coming.
It's tough watching. I mean, when I first got that video, I watched it once and I was like, I just can't watch that again. Like, they're so disappointed, obviously, because those
would have been the chance of their lifetime.
Yeah,
really.
exactly. And and they were all the third-year students.
Oh, so they won't be. Yeah.
Exactly, they're graduating.
Year.
Yeah. So they're still working towards this big competition. So, as third-year students, they really want to do well in it. And one of the videos they filmed for us, which we're going to premiere very shortly, is of this competition piece. And even we don't know the results yet. They don't even know the results yet. They won't be finding out until tomorrow. So when we do one of the repeats tomorrow, we're going to announce it, as the kind of official announcement.
Wow, that's really exciting.
Yes, exactly.
So what's next?
So next we're going to hear from the captain herself, who's also a third-year student. We caught up with her on Zoom in advance of this, and she shares her experience about bukatsu.
Yes.
So let's see how it compares to yours.
Okay, yeah.
Great. Let's take a look. Tell us average day of school and practice for you at Tomioka高校.
日本語でもういきます。普段の練習はその学校の授業が終わってから放課後に学校の屋上の方で全員で揃って練習していて、部員は今86人いて、マネージャー2人も含んでいるので、踊ってる人は今84人なんで、放課後は 2,3 時間くらいです。週に5回です。土日はどちらかだけ練習してます。その何か高校生活のその3年間の中で一つの私たちであればダンスその種目を全員でその一つになって同じ目標に向かって毎日練習していくのが部活です。
いろんな部活動、例えばバスケットボールをやるとかバレーボールをやるとかいろんなクラブがあって生徒たちは入っても入らなくてもいいんだけれども好きなクラブを選んで活動することになっています。
Wow. So average day is go to school, do bukatsu, go home, do homework, sleep.
Yes, very busy.
Okay, it's a very tough schedule.
Yeah, but they enjoy.
Yeah.
enjoy school life.
Okay, so which do you enjoy more, school lessons or bukatsu?
Club activity.
Club activity, yeah, I thought so.
はい。
先生の前でもそういうことは言えるの。
You have to stay study.
So that's you chatting to them.
Yes,
Yeah?
that was me. It's always so embarrassing when you listen to your own voice, though, isn't it?
So it's like what we call 青春だね.
Yeah, exactly.
It's full of life. They're just enjoying their life.
Exactly, and she was like, I don't know how to describe it. She was so passionate, and I mean, obviously, she was nervous having a one-on-one interview with me.
Yeah.
Like, I speak very rusty Japanese, so like we really sort of ambled on. But luckily, the teacher helped us along.
Yeah.
But they had some very cute exchanges. I was so pleased she was able to be honest that she loves dancing, even in front of her teacher. With the pressure there, breathing down her neck.
Yeah. No, great. So what are we watching next?
Well, so in that, you might have spotted that she mentions they practice on the roof of the school.
Roof of school. Okujo.
Okujo,
Yes.
exactly, okujo. And then when I first heard it, I thought, that can't be right. Maybe I'm mishearing the Japanese or something.
Yes.
But then
It'll be flat though. It's
It
not
is
like
flat, yeah. It's not like exactly. Exactly. When you hear school roof, I immediately thought Victorian pointed roof, and I was like, okay, that sounds dangerous. 86 people.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's on the flat. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Maybe that was a thing of tiredness. My brain not quite kicking through. But anyway, then they sent through these fantastic videos of them practicing for the two dances we're going to premiere, and they really are on the roof.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to look at now, sort of sneak peek at them practicing for the two dances we're going to be premiering very shortly.
Lovely.
Great. Let's take a look.
Wow. You can see the focus in their face.
Oh God, yeah.
And the sweat and the heat. But that itself is going to do so well in terms of how they're going to live their lives like in the future, isn't it? It's that kind
exactly.
of the group, I don't know, camaraderie.
Exactly.
Is that what I said? Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then just the physicality of it. You're talking about 37-degree heat. They said in the first video,
doing that on the rooftop.
On the rooftop in the baking heat. Like, can you imagine? Like, if we did our adori even in the baking heat for 5 minutes, I'd be done. So it's quite intense. And and speaking of intensity, actually, one thing we spoke about with the captain is if how does she cope with the intensity? How does she cope with the pressure? Because, obviously there's all that viral fame and
all
the reputation. Exactly. So, suddenly this school club, there's a lot of pressure on these students to do well. So we caught up with her about that. So let's just hear from her herself, the captain of the dance club.
Okay.
プレッシャーに感じることもあるんですけど、それを毎年毎年どうやって自分たちがいい作品を作ってどうやったら見ている方たちに影響を与えれるかっていうのを部員仲間とたくさん話し合いをしたり、練習内でも意見を出し合ったりしながら作品を超えるいい作品を本当に作るために全員が部活動の中で頑張っています。3年生にとっても最後の大会になるので、絶対に見に来てくださるお客さんとかお世話になっている方たちにも最高のパフォーマンスを見せたいですし、それに加えて優勝もできたらなおさら本当にいい思い出に残るだろうなと思います。
So there's so much feeling going into those competitions that they are committed to, which I believe that's not really happening this year.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, they were working towards two big things. One was their annual show, which they do every year, which is, the kind of the core focus of their club activities. They build up to this big annual show, huge audience comes, So you would have noticed in the practice videos, they had two very different feels to the dances.
Yeah.
So one was prepared for this annual show, and the other was prepared for competition.
This competition.
High school street dance competition
This
in
is
Japan.
international. Oh,
this is in Japan, Japanese
okay.
All Japan contest.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to find out the results for later.
Right.
Yeah, but obviously, during lockdown, schools in Japan closed very early on, didn't they?
Yeah.
So club activities stopped, and and they were working towards these big things. They were thinking about coming to ours. So all of these things got put on hold. But of course, things didn't stop. They were able to meet at home and practice at home, and it was really quite uplifting what they produced. So let's just have a quick look at what they've been doing at home during lockdown, shall we?
Lockdown.
Yeah.
That was amazing. It actually made me cry.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see those young girls having fun, a zest of life, even though during the lockdown.
Exactly. Can you imagine? I mean, it's something so 2020 about that video, like everyone is at home, and I think, dancing, music, these are things really missing from our life. Theatre.
Yes.
All of these things that we need to be happy.
Yeah.
So, just the thought of them having something so major in their lives, dancing as a group.
Yeah.
Put on hold, but still being able to have a great big smile on your face at home, having some fun, getting dressed up and having a dance. It's really touching, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've seen that. I can see the Osaka-jin's humour.
Yeah.
I
think so. I defy anyone to watch that video and not notice the spinning dog.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the Japan's future's bright when having so many female.
Exactly, powerful young women coming through.
Yeah,
that much
full of life.
It's fantastic. It's so lovely to see. I mean,
very
they really are such a glowing example of how school can play a role in building confidence and all of that, isn't it?
Oh, so nice. Good.
Exactly.
What's next?
Now we're going to finally turn to one of the premieres, the online premieres.
To
the online premiere, not one of the online premieres, the online premiere of the dance that they would have performed at their annual show. Which was sort of done behind closed doors with just close friends and family instead, given the nature of audiences at the moment.
Yeah.
So they've produced this video for us so we can share it with you for the first time. So let's take a look and see if you can work out which one it was of the practice we saw earlier.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah. もう一つのその百花繚乱という本はその日本の和を基調としたものをイメージして振りを踊っているので、その日本らしさというかその日本の伝統を詰め込んだ踊りになっているので、そこも注目してみていただきたいです。
Wow, that looked amazing.
Unbelievable, isn't it? You know, that 80 people can move in that kind of synchronicity. I just can't get my head around it.
Yeah, and it would have been a bit of a squash if he were to do that.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Trafalgar Square stage.
You know, exactly. So torn, thinking like, oh, it would have been amazing. But then you also think they would have had to sort of be in 3 tiers or something.
Or
You know,
something.
Like, how on
or
earth would we have done
maybe
it?
break into the square itself, maybe.
Yeah,
exactly. Like that. That would be quite fun.
That would be very fun, actually. Next year. Let's see if we can twist some arms.
Yes.
But, you know, it's great that we get to see it, you know, in its full impact, you know, because it's online.
Amazing.
So, yeah. And the next video is for the high school street dance competition, which they only performed 3 days ago. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, this is really hot off the press stuff.
Still steaming.
Literally still steaming. Result is still unannounced.
Okay,
so I'm sure they've all got their hearts in their throats, hoping they've won. We heard from the captain saying, you know, wouldn't it be the best memory of their 3rd year at high school if they were to win this competition in a year, you know, which obviously for them has been full of bad news. So yeah, it'd be great. So this is filmed in a single shot, a single wide shot, because it was choreographed for, you know, a stage competition.
Of course.
So what we're going to see is if we were like at the back of the audience getting the whole picture of the choreography. So we won't have those kind of dynamic shots that we just had in that video. But what you'll get instead is the sort of level of choreography that's gone into this piece, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, let's hit it. Let's the premiere. Let's go.
エロティカ7の方はそのラストのサビでその40人がユニゾンといって揃った動きをして踊るシーンがあって、そこの迫力を見ていただきたいです。
Wow.
Wow, indeed.
I'm out of breath just watching.
Me too. Like I just
to
can't
remind
get my head around
ourselves,
it.
there are 16 to 18-year-olds.
I know.
Amazing.
And when you see them, pinpoint perfect positions.
Yeah, the hours of practice.
Oh my God, like I'm struggling to stay on the little bit of tape we have underneath us to stay in position for the camera.
Yeah.
And you think they're all in perfect position, perfect unison. The choreography is obviously wonderful.
Yes, amazing.
And, you just can't even, oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really emotional.
It is. And we'll be revisiting them throughout the day and
highlights,
tomorrow, getting, highlights again. So hopefully when we're more calm, we can talk about them a bit more.
Yeah, and